Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chloe. This is the House of Chloe that is in the backyard. On my streams, usually I just talk about whatever I want, and today's scheduled Bible reading is right now. Yesterday's and today's because I missed yesterday's. So it's going to be Numbers 16 through 20, and so it's 5 whole chapters in the book of Numbers. And let's begin the numbers 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Not too bad. All right, ready? Now, rebellion against Moses and Aaron. Now Korah the son of Ishar, the son of Korath, the son of Levi, with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, representatives of the congregation, men of renown. They gathered together against Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You take too much upon yourselves, for all the congregation is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Why then do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of the Lord?" I can't read that. I speak English. Sorry. So when Moses heard it, he fell on his face, and he spoke to Korah and all his company, saying, "Tomorrow morning the Lord will show who is his and who is holy, and the Lord will show who is his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near to him. That one whom he chooses, he will cause to come near to him. Do this, take censers, Korah and all your company, put fire in them and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow, and it shall be that the man whom the Lord chooses is the Holy One. You take too much upon yourselves, you sons of Levi." Then Moses said to Korah, "Hear now, you sons of Levi. Is it a small thing to you that the Lord, the God of Israel, has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the work of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to serve them, and that he has brought you near to himself, you and all your brethren, the sons of Levi, with you? And are you seeking the priesthood also? Therefore you and all your company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that you complain against him?" It's New King James Version. And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab. But they said, "We will not come up. It is a small thing that you have brought us up out of a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, that you should keep acting like a prince over us. Moreover, you have not brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us inheritance of fields and vineyards." will you put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. You guys are wild tonight. Your comments are wild. Then Moses was very angry and said to the Lord, "Do not respect their offering. I have not given one donkey from them, nor have I hurt one of them." And Moses said to Korah, "Tomorrow you and all your company be present before the Lord, you and they, as well as Aaron. Let each take his censer and put in incense in it, and each of you bring his censer before the Lord." I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. 250 censers, both you and Aaron, each with his censer. So every man took his censer, put fire in it, laid incense on it, and stood at the door of the tabernacle of meeting with Moses and Aaron and Korah, gathered all the congregation against them at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then the glory of the Lord appeared to all the congregation, and the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, "Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment." Then they fell on their faces and said, "O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and you be angry with all the congregation?" So the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the congregation, saying, Get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abram." Then Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abram, and the elders of Israel followed him, and he spoke to the congregation, saying, "Depart now from the tents of these wicked men. Touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins." So they got away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan and Abram, and Dathan and Abram came out and stood at the door of their tents with their wives, their sons, and their little children. I think Chloe, yes, Hong Kong. She seems like a genuinely good woman. Thank you so much. And Moses said, "By this you shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own will. If these men die naturally like all men, or if they are visited by the common fate of all men, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord creates a new thing, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the pit, then you will understand that these men have rejected the Lord." Now it came to pass, as he finished speaking all these words, that the ground split apart under them, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, and all the men with Korah with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into the pit. The earth closed over them, and they perished from among the assembly. Then all Israel who were around them fled at their cry, for they said, "Lest the earth swallow us up also." And a fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering incense. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Tell Eleazar the son of Aaron, the priests to pick up the censers out of the blaze, for they are holy, and scatter fire home the fire some distance away. The censers of these men who sinned against their own souls, let them be made into hammered plates as a covering for the altar, because they presented them before the Lord. Therefore they are holy, and they shall be a sign to the children of Israel. So Eleazar the priest took the bronze censers which those who were burned up had presented, and they were hammered out as a covering on the altar to be a memorial to the children of Israel, that no outsider who is not a descendant of Aaron should come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he might not become like Korah and his companions, just as the Lord had said to him through Moses. Thank you. We are living in tough times. Yes. All right. Complaints of the people. On the next day, all the congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron, saying, "You have killed the people of the Lord." Now it happened when the congregation had gathered against Moses and Aaron that they turned toward the tabernacle of meeting, and suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Then Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of meeting, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Get away from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment." And they fell on their faces. So Moses said to Aaron, "Take a censer and put I think it's censer, CENSER, and put fire in it from the altar, but put incense on it, and take it quickly to the congregation and make atonement for them, for wrath has gone out from the Lord. The plague has begun." Then Aaron took it as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the assembly, and already the plague had begun among the people. So he put in the incense and made atonement for the people, and he stood between the dead and the living, so the plague was stopped. Now those who died in the plague were 14,700, besides those who died in the Korah incident. So Aaron returned to Moses at the door of the tabernacle of meeting, for the plague had stopped. Good for you. Yeah, I dream a lot. How about you get blocked? Remove. There we go. Next is chapter 17, the budding of Aaron's rod. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and get them from a rod from each father's house, all their leaders, according to their fathers' houses, 12 rods. Write each man's name on his rod, and you shall write Aaron's name on the rod of Levi. For there shall be one rod for the head of each father's house. Then you shall place them in the tabernacle of meeting before the testimony, where I meet with you. And it shall be that the rod of the man whom I choose will blossom. Thus I will rid myself of the complaints of the children of Israel, which they make against you. So Moses spoke to the children of Israel, and each of their leaders gave him a rod apiece for each leader according to their father's house, 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron was among their rods, and Moses placed the rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. Now it came to pass on the next day that Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron of the house of Levi had sprouted and put forth buds, had produced blossoms, and yielded ripe almonds. Then Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord to all the children of Israel, and they looked, and each man took his rod. And the Lord said to Moses, Bring Aaron's rod back before the testimony to be kept as a sign against the rebels, that you may put their complaints away from me, lest they die. Thus did Moses, just as the Lord had commanded him, so he did. So the children of Israel spoke to Moses, saying, Surely we die, we perish, we all perish. Whoever even comes near the tabernacle of the Lord must die. Shall we all utterly die? You like listening to my stream? Thank you. Happy birthday, Mariano Batro. Next is chapter 18, Duties of Priest and Levites. Then the Lord said to Moses, You and your sons and your father's house with you shall bear the iniquity related to the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity associated with your priesthood. Also, bring with you your brethren of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your father, that they may be joined with you and serve you while you and your sons are with you before the tabernacle of witness. They shall attend to your needs and all the needs of the tabernacle, but they shall not come near the articles of the sanctuary and the altar, lest they die. They and you also, they shall be joined with you and attend to the needs of the tabernacle of meeting for all the work of the tabernacle, but an outsider shall not come near you. And you shall attend to the duties of the sanctuary and the duties of the altar, that there may be no more wrath on the children of Israel. Behold, I myself have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel. They are a gift to you, given by the Lord to do the work of the tabernacle of meeting. Therefore, you and your sons with you shall attend to your priesthood of everything, for everything at the altar and behind the veil, and you shall serve. I give your priesthood to you as a gift for service, but the outsider who comes near shall be put to death. Thank you. Next is offering for support of the priest. And the Lord spoke to Moses, Here I myself have also given you charge of my heave offering all the holy gifts of the children of Israel. I have given them as a portion to you and your sons as an ordinance forever. This shall be yours of the most holy things reserved from the fire, every offering of theirs, every grain offering and every sin offering and every trespass offering which they render to me shall be most holy for you and your sons in a most holy place. You shall eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be holy to you. This also is yours, the heave offering of their gift with all the wave offering of the children. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The heave, have, Heave offering. The children of Israel, I have given them to you and your sons and daughters with you as an ordinance forever. Everyone who is clean in your house may eat it. All the best of the oil, all the best of the new wine and the grain, their first fruits which they offer to the Lord, I have given them to you. Whatever first ripe fruit is in their land which they bring to the Lord shall be yours. Everyone who is clean in your house may eat it. Every devoted thing in Israel shall be yours. We're reading the Bible. Hey, yeah. I am really happy seeing you reading the Bible. Thanks. Everything that first opens the womb of the flesh, which they bring to the Lord, whether man or beast, shall be yours. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man you shall surely redeem, and the firstborn of unclean animals you shall redeem, and those redeemed of the devoted things you shall redeem when 1 month old, according to your valuation, for 5 shekels of silver, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 juras. But the firstborn of a cow, the firstborn of a sheep, or the firstborn of a goat, you shall not redeem. They are holy. You shall sprinkle their blood on the altar and burn their fat as an offering made by fire for a sweet aroma to the Lord, and their flesh shall be yours, just as the wave breast and the right thigh are yours. All the heave offering of the holy things which the children of Israel offer to the Lord, I have given to you and your sons and daughters with you as an ordinance forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord with you and your descendants with you. Then the Lord said to Aaron, you shall have no inheritance in their land, nor shall you have any portion among them. I am your portion and your inheritance among the children of Israel. Tithes for support of the Levites. Behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tithes in Israel as an inheritance in return for the work which they perform, the Lord of the tabernacle of meeting. Hereafter the children of Israel shall not come near the tabernacle of meeting, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall perform the work of the tabernacle of meeting, and they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall perform the work of the tabernacle of meeting, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance for the tithe of the children of Israel, which they offer up as a heave offering to the Lord. I have given to the Levites as an inheritance, therefore I have made to them among the children of Israel, they shall have no inheritance. The tithe of the Levites. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak thus to the Levites, and say to them, when you take from the children of Israel and tithes, which I have given you from them as your inheritance, then you shall offer up a heave offering of it to the Lord, a tenth of the tenth tithe, and your heave offering shall be reckoned to you as though it were the grain of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus you shall also offer a heave offering to the Lord from all your tenth tithes which you receive from the children of Israel, and you shall give the Lord's heave offering from it to Aaron, and to Aaron the priest. Of all your gifts you shall offer up every heave offering due to the Lord from all the best of them, the consecrated part of them. Therefore you shall say to them, when you have lifted up the best of it, then the rest shall be accounted to the Levites as the produce of the threshing floor, and as the produce of the winepress. You may eat it in any place, you and your households, for it is your reward for your work in the tabernacle of meeting, and you shall bear no sin because of it when you have lifted up the best of it, but you shall not profane the holy gifts of the children of Israel, lest you die. Okay, next is chapter 19. Laws of purification. Now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord has commanded, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they bring you a red heifer without blemish, in which there is no defect, and on which a yoke has never come. You shall give it to Eleazar the priest, that he may take it outside the camp, and it shall be slaughtered there before him. And Eleazar the priest shall take some of its blood with its fine finger, and sprinkle some of its blood 7 times directly in front of the tabernacle of meeting. Then the heifer shall be burned in his sight, its hide, its flesh, its blood, and its offal shall be burned, and the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet, and cast them into the midst of the fire, burning the heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes, he shall bathe in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. The priest shall be unclean until evening, and the one who burns it shall wash his clothes in water, bathe in water, and shall be unclean until evening. Then a man who is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and store them outside the camp in a clean place, and they shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel for the water of purification. It is for purifying from sin, and the one who gathers the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until evening. It shall be a statute forever to the children of Israel and to the stranger who dwells among them. He who touches the dead body of anyone shall be unclean 7 days. He shall purify himself with the water on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day then he will be clean. But if he does not purify himself on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he will not be clean. Whoever touches the body of anyone who has died and does not purify himself defiles the tabernacle of the Lord. That person shall be cut off from Israel. He shall be unclean, because the water of purification was not sprinkled on him. His uncleanness is still on him. This is a law when a man dies in a tent All who comes into the tent and all who are in the tent shall be unclean 7 days, and every open vessel which has no cover fastened on it is unclean. Whoever in the open field touches one who is slain by a sword, or who has died, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. And for an unclean person, that they shall take some of the ashes of the heifer burned for purification from sin, and running water shall be put on them in a vessel, and clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, sprinkle it on the tent, on all the vessels, on the persons who were there, or on the one who touched a bone, the slain bone, the slain, the dead, or a grave. The clean person shall sprinkle the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself, wash his clothes, and bathe in water, and at evening he shall be clean. But the man who is unclean and does not purify himself, that person shall be cut off from among the assembly, because he has defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water of purification has not been sprinkled on him, he is unclean. He shall be a perpetual statute for them. He who sprinkles the water of purification shall wash his clothes, and he who touches the water of purification shall be unclean until evening. Whatever the unclean person touches shall be unclean, and the person who touches it shall be unclean until evening. Moses' error at Kadesh. Chapter 20. I got about 2 more pages, 2.5. Then the children of Israel, the whole congregation, came into the wilderness of Zin in the 1st month, and the people stayed in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there. Now there was no water for the congregation, so they gathered together against Moses and Aaron, and the people contended with Moses and spoke, saying, "If only we had died when our brethren died before the Lord. Why have you brought up the assembly of the Lord into this wilderness, that we and our animals should die here? And why have you made us come up out of Egypt to bring us to this evil place? It is not a place of grain or figs or vines or pomegranates, nor is there any water to drink." So Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly to the door of the tabernacle of meeting, and they fell on their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared to them. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the rod, you and your brother Aaron, gather the congregation together, speak to the rock before their eyes, and it will yield its water. Thus you shall bring water from them out of the rock and give drink to the congregation and their animals." So Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he commanded him, and Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock, and he said to them, "Hear now, you rebels, must we bring water for you out of this rock?" Then Moses lifted his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation and their animals drank. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, "Because you did not believe me to hallow me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them." This was the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel contended with the Lord, and he was hallowed among them. Passage through Edom refused. Now Moses sent messengers from Kadesh to the king of Edom. Thus says your brother Israel, you know all the hardship that has befallen us, how our fathers went down to Egypt, and we dwelt in Egypt a long time, and Egyptians afflicted us and our fathers. When we cried out to the Lord, he heard our voice and sent the angel and brought us up out of Egypt. Now here we are in Kadesh, a city on the edge of your border. Please let us pass through your country. We will not pass through fields or vineyards, nor will we drink water from wells. We will go along the king's highway. We will not turn aside to the right hand or to the left until we have passed through your territory. What are you learning? I'm back. Hey sis. Very good reading. Question. We're reading the Bible. Then Edom said to him, you shall not pass through my land, lest I come out against you with the sword. So the children of Israel said to him, we will go by the highway, and if I or my livestock drink any of your water, then I will pay for it. Let me only pass through on foot, nor nothing more. Then he said, you shall not pass through. So Edom came out against them with many men and with a strong hand. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his territory. So Israel turned away from him. Death of Aaron. Now the children of Israel, the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came to Mount Hor. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the border of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered to his people, for he shall not enter the land which I have given to the children of Israel, because you rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up to Mount Hor, and stripe Aaron of his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son. For Aaron should be gathered to his people and die there. So Moses did just as the Lord commanded, and then went up to Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put them on Eleazar his son, and Aaron died there on the top of the mountain. Then Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. Now when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, all the house of Israel mourned for Aaron 30 days. Interesting. That's it. 30 days. And then it's chapter 21. Okay, we read it all. Death of Aaron. Now the children of Israel, the whole congregation journey. Okay, so Aaron rebelled against the water, the rod in the water. Now there was no water for the congregation, so they gathered together against Moses. Moment of silence, sorry. Um, Speak to the rock before their eyes, and it will yield its water. Thus you shall bring water from them for them out of the rock, and you can give or drink to the congregation their animals. So Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he commanded him. Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock, and he said to them, Hear now, you rebels, must we bring water for you out of this rock? Then Moses lifted his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation and their animals drank. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, Because you did not believe me to hallow me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring them this assembly into the land which I have given them. This was the water of... Okay, that is a little bit confusing because he told them, yeah, I did. Oh, 1 second. Trying to figure this out. He told him to strike the rock with the rod. So Moses did, and then Aaron died. Interesting. I'll have to go on YouTube and figure that one out. Okay, now we're going to cross out yesterday and today's reading. And we can have a chat. I did go to the ER yesterday because I wasn't feeling well yesterday either. I was having the same chest, head, back pain, and I told them about my heart. I told them about my anxiety, and I told them about my lithium, that I'm getting off of lithium. And this cute doctor was helping me, and he gave me Ativan and Tylenol through the nurse. I got my blood drawn, and I got a sandwich and a soda. And so I ate my sandwich, waited for the results. The doctor came by and told me that he's going to prescribe me hydroxine, which is a anxiety medication. So I said, all right, that sounds good. And he goes, we don't prescribe Ativan anymore, or he doesn't, or whatever it is. But this should work good for you, for your anxiety, because I told him, like, it's most likely hurting and probably in pain because of anxiety. And then, so he prescribed me that, and then they were doing discharge, and I asked them if they checked my lithium level, and they didn't. And I asked them if they could do that ultrasound on my heart, and they couldn't. They got, when I first got there, like right before that, I got an EKG. The EKG looked good. I didn't have any, the EKG always turns out fine, but and my blood pressure as well, but there is a leak in there. That's what my other doctor told me. So they just said follow up with your heart doctor and your general doctor and talk to your psychiatrist when you get your next appointment. I said okay. But for now I'm on hydroxyzine, hydroxyzine or something like that. So I took that tonight along with my other medications, and I'm not feeling hydroxyzine. Yeah, and I'm not feeling any of the like the pain right now, at least. Like, I mean, like this much, but like I'm feeling pretty good. I probably need to go find something to eat right now, but other than that, I'm doing good. That's to calm you down. Yes. I didn't tell my parents that I went until after I got home. I went there like 8 or 8:30, and I got home at like midnight or 12:30. And then I told my mom where I was, and then my mom told my dad this morning. But yeah, I think preventative care is better than psychiatric care. Like emergency rooms are covered under my insurance, I believe, so that is good. I tend to have high blood pressure. My next step is to check my heart palpitations and chest tightness every now and then, fears of an enlarged heart. Oh wow, I'm going to Jack in the Box in a few minutes. Nice. Yeah, my friend was saying how she stays away from sugar, soda, processed foods, so I need to start like also staying away from those things. She has some like bipolar depression, so it's not fun. Yeah, Medi-Cal covers ER. That's good. I went there in June for basically the same reason, and I told them that I need lithium. What if I have like something going wrong? Like, what if my kidneys are failing or something like that? And I was like, because I was like in all over pain, like it's not just my mind anymore. It's like my mind, my heart, my body, and I don't know why. It's very strange. That's just general advice for everyone. What's general advice for everyone? How was my Valentine's? My Valentine's was great because I was my own Valentine. I got myself a haircut. My hair's shorter. I got some oysters. Then I got some flowers and macaroons from Trader Joe's and some dinner. And I watched Love is Blind, the first episode. And then I did my makeup while on stream. And then I went to this pub and met this guy Alex, but I don't think it's not like a love match, it's just a friend thing. And then yeah, went home, cuddled with my cat, and that was my Valentine's Day. No soda, no processed food, etc. Oh, yeah. Oysters have a lot of zinc, which may be bad for your skin. I love oysters. That's an awesome Valentine's Day. I know, it's like my best Valentine's Day ever. It was really good. I had a lot of fun with myself. I'm dating myself. We'll hang out with Alex. He wants to go salsa dancing. Hi. But I'll let him tell me when it is because he's a little young. He's like 21. Yeah, could be fun. "21, forget it." Yeah, that's young. I just stayed home and watched some movies by myself for Valentine's Day. Yeah, that can be fun too. Sometimes when I'm laying down, I'm like, I'm not really relaxing because like my body and mind is like always going or like thinking up scenarios or like thinking about being hurt or like it's like a whole thing. I don't think I can really relax unless I'm actually sleeping. I went to a Chinese buffet by myself for Valentine's Day. Ate like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about, yeah, the whole thing about relaxing, like, that I just brought up just now. It's hard for me to relax. I need to be on my phone. I need to be petting my cat. I need to be like sitting or laying, standing. I don't know, like normal things, but it's hard for my mind to just like not think about anything good or bad. It can help me with relaxing. Glad you had your heart checked out. Yeah, the EKG. At least that's normal and blood pressure and everything. But it's like still have the problems, but hopefully the meds kick in and help. But yeah, still have problems. It's okay though. It's okay. We all have to die at one point. Hydroxyzine can help you relax. Yes. I probably shouldn't say what meds I'm on, but I'm on Zyprexa and hydroxyzine. Do you have psychotic medication? Yeah. I have Zyprexa. It's pretty good. How is the weather there? It was raining a little bit. But thank you guys for listening, sticking with me for almost an hour. I will see you all in the next live stream, video, or short. It's sunny in LA. That's good. Thank you for reading scripture. You're welcome. Bye.